Hey everyone, as I said, back with hockey content. The Montreal Canadiens trades coming up. There's some big moves coming up in the NHL. I know we talked about a busy offseason happening. It really didn't happen, but I have a feeling a lot's going to happen here moving into the season, September, October. Sidney Crosby conversation, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Pavel Zacha maybe going to the Montreal Canadiens. Crosby's obviously connected to Montreal, so we're going to talk about that in this video. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. Hit that like button, comment down below. But starting with Jason Gregor's tweet here, and a lot of people are talking about it right now, like Crosby, clips, Rumours, Pat Brisson, his agent's comments. So just going through that quickly here. Crosby leaving Pittsburgh always made sense for him to get back to the playoffs, and for the Penguins, assets acquired will help the rebuild. Obviously, the storyline overall, Sidney Crosby finishing his career in Pittsburgh, makes sense. Even if he gets traded, he's going to go back there, sign the one-day contract. We're going to do all the theatrical stuff. But playing for one team your whole career is something special. Tom Brady, though, and we're going to go through a reference like that in a second here, he had one of the most, if not the most, all-time career for a professional athlete. Specifically in the NFL, definitely the top. Crosby could be there for the NHL, depending. We'll see. I mean, like, he's not going to win another cup in Pittsburgh. I just don't see it. I hope I'm proven wrong for you Pens fans out there, but I'm just saying it doesn't look positive as it stands. If Sidney Crosby went to a different team, went to a team on the rise, and got a cup or two, finished his career with 5 Stanley Cups, even 4, I think you get into the conversation of Sid and Gretzky like this. And there's a lot of argument to be had that he's already there. So just to go through it quickly with this, and then Jason Gregor goes over what was said from Pat Brisson. Well, it's a reality when he's asked about it. First of all, he's been so consistent for 20 years. He had another great year last year. He just keeps going. The comparison to Brady, we want Sidney to hopefully be in the playoffs every year. We want him to hopefully win another cup or two. So each year the team that he's playing for fails to make the playoffs. It creates a lot of speculation. Then he just basically goes on. But at the same time, the reason we talk about this is because he's such a great player still, and then references Brady again. So the conversation is this. What does Sidney want? And I think Crosby wants to be a Pen. But if the Penguins have no direction for the season again to do well, and it really doesn't look like they're going to be a playoff team, I feel like in Sidney's best interest, he should be open to a scenario that makes sense for him and his career and his overall accomplishments. Of course, the home aspect being out east, and that's why Montreal comes into the conversation here. Everyone wants to talk about Colorado and him uniting with Nathan McKinnon and winning some cups in Colorado. Yes, it makes a lot of sense, but in terms of being East Coast, I think that's a big part of being in Pittsburgh, right? Like close to home, East Coast, simple flight out to Nova Scotia. He would have that in Montreal, and of course, growing up, being a fan, like I think a lot of that's happening here for Habs fans is like it could happen, right? So a lot of these conversations are happening, and not just for Montreal, like Ottawa, like I know, like I said, Colorado has been in that conversation. I've seen Rangers fans be pretty active in the Crosby conversation recently. And then just like a clip like this from Sid.
Does he want to leave? You know, where can he go? You know, everyone's got the team they want me to go to.
So it's all over the place, right? So I think Crosby to Montreal is going to continue to be a conversation. We'll see, guys. Like, I think personally, a lot of people talk about, and on that Ottawa thing, it was talking about like Sanderson or talking about Shane Pinto and a lot of other pieces. For me, I know Habs fans wouldn't want to see Demidov go. Like, he would be part of that potential cup-winning team if Crosby was to go there. But it's got to be something significant. I think Reinbacher, 1,000,000% would have to be in there. Multiple first-round picks. It would have to be the 2026 first-round pick unprotected for sure. And then probably another forward prospect, a significant forward prospect. So if it's not Demidov as a younger piece, then it would probably have to be one of the more intriguing, like is Michael Hagen there? Like it'd either have to be a lot of, B+, A- quantity, or like 1 A+ quality, which would be Demidov. So if it's not Demidov, Reinbacher, multiple of those A-, B+ forward prospects, and then multiple first-round picks, that's where you're at to get a guy like Sidney Crosby. And that should be the minimum. So to keep all of that in your mind, yes, the Crosby conversations are there, but for Montreal, and specifically talking on this video, it seems like Pavel Zacha is in that conversation. So Marco D'Amico talking about how the Zacha is on Montreal and Calgary's radar, and more specifically talking about Montreal because they've been in that market for the second line center spot. Of course, Kirby Dach and the injury issues, it's definitely a concern in Montreal right now. I saw this mock trade from a Habs fan online, and I thought, honestly, this is not that bad. I think the first round pick, does Montreal really want to trade the 2026 first round pick with Gavin McKenna incoming? Probably not. Yes, Montreal is going to be knocking on the door for playoffs, but as we saw, if they were to miss the playoffs, the New York Islanders made the insane jump to get the first overall pick in the draft lottery. Montreal should not risk that. So either put some protection on that first round pick or remove it and put it like a significant prospect in its place. Does that mean David Reinbacher's in here? You know what? Well, how I look at Montreal's defense right now, you brought in Noah Dobson. So Reinbacher, can he be in the picture? Sure. The top four moving forward could be a very solid scenario of Hudson, Gooley, Dobson, Reinbacher, for sure. But there's also other guys coming up. Matheson, is he the long-term pitcher there in the top four? So Reinbacher could be moved if it makes sense. To me, if you can get a legit second-line center like Pavel Zacha, it could make some sense. This guy's put up some good numbers. Like if you look at his production and you look at his age, like he's not super old. He's 30 years old. He put up 47 points last year in 82 games on a Bruins team that was not good. So you would, if you went to Montreal, you would think he's going to put up 60 to 70 points potentially. So I think this is a scenario where it could make sense for Montreal. Go after a guy like Zacha. If it doesn't take a, like if you're not losing a first round pick, I think you consider that, or a first round pick like top 5 protected at the very least. Owen Beck, he could be a future second line center, but to me that's years down the line. I think his ceiling is second line center, maybe just a really good third line center. So you're not really losing a lot of substance here if you're Montreal, unless it's an unprotected first round pick, which I don't think you're doing, right? Maybe you scale down this package and just have Reinbacher going to Boston. I don't know if Habs fans really want that, but you have to give to get. And Zacha could be a 60-point guy on this Montreal Canadiens team and fill that second line center role. So give me your thoughts, guys. I think there's a lot of scenarios here for the Montreal Canadiens. The Crosby buzz is just going to keep happening. It really is. I think with Crosby, McDavid, we're going to keep talking about all this stuff. I'm probably going to have some more videos talking about like Crosby destinations. We're going to talk about Kaprizov, a lot of things like that. So subscribe, like, comment, notification bell. Give me your thoughts on the Montreal Canadiens' next move. If you think it's a different second line center they should target, or if Pavel Zacha is a realistic target. We'll talk soon. Peace.